I'm standing at the Jack London Square Amtrak station in Oakland. 10 years ago, this is how I arrived here from San Francisco via the BART. So a lot of people who come here are going to arrive at Jack London Square if they're coming on the ferry from San Francisco or if they're coming on the BART or the Amtrak. So I'm about to do a pretty extensive food tour of Oakland. It's been 10 years, so a lot's changed since I've been here. So the waiting area is small, but it's very clean. They have people over there to help. And then you can see the high ceilings here. It's usually pretty quiet in here. And then here's a little bit of information as far as how Amtrak connects you to the rest of California. I'm in Oakland's Temescal district, and I'm trying a place called Aman Cafe. So I found this place online when I was searching for a Malaysian restaurant. There is none here in Oakland, but this one came up. So this is a pretty cool concept. What they have is 8 or 9 different types of roti. They have sweet and savory. I got the sweet one, which has fresh fruit, coconut ice cream, and it's Mingalaba. I'm at Burma Superstar in Temescal. So this place has been on my radar since my last visit, which was 10 years ago. So I'm gonna forego the mohinga, the chicken coconut curry, the Burmese curry, and I'm gonna try something I've never tried before. This is just on the menu as chicken with fresh mint. So you can see the mint leaves up here. It's very finely minced chicken meat. It almost reminds me of a larb. And then there's also jalapenos, chopped garlic, cilantro. And then the staff recommended that I have this with coconut rice. So I have the coconut rice mixed in with the minced chicken. Okay. I do feel a little bit of a heat from the jalapenos, but the sweetness of the coconut rice offsets it. You could definitely tell that they use soy sauce in this, but I really like the chicken. I like the fact that they added mint to it and cilantro. So yeah, this is definitely something I'd consider ordering again because I've never seen it before, or if I have seen it, it's the Burmese name, which I just don't recognize. I'm standing near the intersection of 8th and Webster in Oakland's Chinatown. It's part of the downtown area, and I'm gonna be trying a couple of the restaurants in the area, then I'm gonna head to Uptown and then check out Jack. This is pretty much a typical street scene in Oakland's Chinatown, along 8th Street, 9th Street, even up to 10th. You'll see fresh vegetables on the sidewalk here, fresh fruits, and then if you continue, you'll see a lot of seafood restaurants in this area. There's Joy Luck, and you see bananas. You can pretty much find any kind of meat or fish. This is a seafood market right here. I'm starting my Oakland Chinatown food tour at Peony Seafood on 9th Street. So this place is kind of interesting because they have a couple specials which are not things that I'm used to seeing, but when it comes time to place your order, they give this little iPad type of tablet and you pick what you want. They have all the different categories here. So for right now, I'm gonna forego the beef roll and typical shrimp dumplings that I order when I'm at a dim sum hall. So in this case, I'm gonna try the roasted duck swan puff. And all you do is you just press the little button there, adds it to the cart. I'm also gonna try the crispy shrimp rice roll. So I'm trying 3 things here. The first one is the shredded chicken bitter melon rice roll. Then I'm also doing a crispy shrimp roll. It has the same soy sauce, but I think the most interesting thing I'm gonna try here is the roast duck puff. So check this out. I really like the presentation. I believe that, that the heads are even edible on these. I'm gonna try the bitter melon first. So they cut this at the table. I haven't had this in about 7 months. I had it at a Chinese restaurant in Houston back in July, and I enjoy it more than a lot of other people do. It's not something I would want to eat every day, but I definitely like it. So these here, I'm used to getting the longer rolls that look kind of, for shrimp, that look kind of like the one I just had. So I'm gonna dip this one in the soy sauce So it's shredded. You can see like the little shredded puff on the outside of it. And then finally, I suppose I'm gonna bite the head off first. I'm not sure what that is, but let's try this. Okay. Extremely flaky. It comes right apart. There's no, it's gonna get messy. So you can see the duck inside. It's in some sort of red sauce. Not overwhelming, but it's something I'm really not used to. I haven't really tasted this before. I'd love to know what it is. But they also have some really creative desserts, which I'm gonna be trying next. So now it's time for dessert, and like the rest of the menu, it was very difficult to narrow things down. I saw a lot of creative options here that I don't necessarily see in dim sum places back home. So I'm starting with black sesame rice rolls. I've gotten really into black sesame in the past few years to the point where if I ever see black sesame ice cream, I definitely order that. It probably dates back to Tokyo 2019 when I had soft serve black sesame ice cream. And in Lower Manhattan, you could find black sesame ice cream pretty easily as well. But one other thing I wanted to mention was the one dessert that I had to order was this. So this is pear-shaped, but it's pandan mochi. And you can see here it's fried on the outside. So there's a little vegetable in here, and I'm not even sure how I want to eat this. I got my chopsticks. It actually grips pretty easily, so let's try this. It's very smooth inside. Take a closer look there. And by the way, the sort of nickname for pandan is Asian vanilla. It's very popular throughout Southeast Asia. I love pandan ice cream as well, just like I like black sesame ice cream. So, and by the way, these are both served warm. This has been sitting here for a while, so it's cooled off. Okay, again, I love black sesame. I put it in my poke bowls. It almost kind of has a powdery taste, but I really like both, but I'm partial to the pandan. And I also... I'm at Battambang, which is the only Cambodian restaurant in Oakland's Chinatown. So I'm starting off with the banana blossom soup, which is something I've never heard of before. So it has salmon, which is a fish that I'm not used to seeing at Cambodian restaurants. And then these yellowish things here, that's the banana blossom. I have tried it previously, but only in salads. So I'm gonna give this a try. I definitely taste the lemongrass. It's not spicy like a lot of soups. The taste isn't overly strong, but when you have cold weather like we're having in Oakland right now, this dish here really hits the spot. Amok is Cambodia's national dish. It's on the menu here as steamed catfish custard, and it's usually served in banana leaf. If you take a closer look here, it's topped with coconut milk. That's a bell pepper. There is spinach on the bottom, I believe, and then also you have vegetables for dipping. So you have cucumber, you have tomato. I believe in Cambodia they would actually dip into the amok, but here usually I would spread it out over rice. This is what amok looks like spread out over rice, so it has an orangish kind of color to it. I'm going to take a bite. I'm going to get a decent size piece of catfish. So it's kind of milky, very smooth. You can definitely taste the lemongrass. Nothing here is spicy if you don't ask for it that way. It could be in some other restaurants. I'm at the Fruitvale Public Market. I took a trip out here on the BART, and Fruitvale Village is across the street. This is very walkable from the station. You don't need a car to get here. But why I'm recording here and why I'm so excited is because This is a little market, and it's mostly Mexican stores, and I found mame ice cream at a place called Cinco de Mayo, and they have about a dozen different ice cream flavors. I went for the mame, which I think anybody who likes papaya will appreciate mame. So it does also have a little bit of a cinnamon sweet potato taste to it, but behind me, you have about 5 stalls. There's also a bakery there. And on both sides, on this street is 12th. And then on the other side of the market, you have a lot of locally owned stores. I'm at Occitania, which is an upscale French restaurant in Uptown, Oakland. I'm starting off with the sea bass, which has white sea bass, chanterelle mushrooms in a bed of olive oil. And before I try this, I just want to show you what's above my head. So these are meant to represent pebbles. I believe pebbles blowing in the wind in the Occitania region of Spain, France, and Italy, and Southern Europe. So I'm going to try the food here. First, I want to try the white sea bass. It's in a bed of olive oil, which is all the flavor it really needs. I don't use much sauce on fish at all when I cook it at home, so I really appreciate crudo. And next I want to try these mushrooms. So I haven't had these very often, and I'm going to try these next. Okay, not what I'm used to at all. It almost has like a fruity flavor as opposed to the earthy flavor that I'm used to. I would also say like, not necessarily, I would say like they had a little bit of a sweetness to them. So just take a look around here. The ceiling's really high, and I like also in this place how the art hangs from the ceiling and it's not on the walls. So for my entree, I'm trying the chestnut tagliatelle. Chestnut's one of those things that you don't necessarily see it on every menu, and it's not available for a good part of the year. So I want to try this and see what it's like. It's got pieces of chestnut, pieces of squash throughout. It's pretty rich, kind of buttery. Everything in it's plant-based except for the cheese that comes on top. But this is a nice change. I always like French restaurants because the menu is not always exactly the same. Like some other restaurants, you pretty much know like a handful of items that are going to be on it. But I really love the look of this place. So I'm in the Rockridge district of Oakland, and I'm here with Chef Dirk at Acre Kitchen and Bar. Do I have that right?
You got it.
Well, thank you so much. One of these dishes, well, they all sounded delicious, but one of the dishes here really caught my eye. So this is a spiced Moroccan burrata. Do I have that right?
Moroccan spiced burrata.
Okay, I think I had the words right. I just had them in the wrong order. Yes. So can you please explain this? It's really interesting to me.
Yeah, so, traditionally you see burrata kind of mixed with roasted peppers and roasted tomatoes. And for us, we wanted to do something a little different and kind of present it with some different flavor profiles. So the Moroccan spice itself has got a mixture of lemon juice, honey. It's got some coriander and cumin. And so we take that and reduce it down till it's a nice, beautiful glaze. Really well balanced with some acidity and some sweetness. And we think it just blends so well with the creaminess from the burrata itself. To finish the dish, we've got sunchoke chips, gives it a little crunch, and some pomelo segments, which are just perfectly in season right now.
Okay, so I have to try it, of course. So these are the sunchoke crisps. So the burrata, I suppose I should cut the burrata and let it ooze out a little bit. And that's za'atar on top of the burrata?
No, that's the actual Moroccan spice glaze. So it's got the mint and the cumin and coriander all glazed into that.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of pomella.
There you go.
Trying my best here.
Uh-huh.
All right, so here we go. I'm definitely getting the citrus, the creamy burrata. It's not as salty as I would have expected. But how would you describe the sunchoke chips? I guess I got to take a few more.
I definitely think nutty, the crispy kind of nutty flavor that kind of comes through for it. And there's like a little element of almost like an artichoke flavor in there, the earthiness.
Okay, earthy. All right, that's the word I was looking for. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you've done some the dishes here. I'm getting that you're using a lot of Mediterranean ingredients.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like California Mediterranean.
Yeah, I think that we're California first, which means that a lot of the ingredients that are highlighted here in our area lend itself to Mediterranean flavors. And then it's kind of, we really wanted it to be food that we could eat and eat often. So you're going to find a lot more lemon and olive oil instead of cream and butter. And it's more just making it approachable, everyday fare.
Okay. All right. Well, I have another dish coming. I believe it's a lamb sugo. I already tried your coconut parsnip soup. And I'm going to try to save room for dessert. So thank you very much for your time.
Of course.
And thank you for the recommendations as well.
All right, you got it.
So, Dirk, at Acre, you do your own soft serve right in the kitchen. I got that right?
You got that right. One of the biggest things that we wanted in this restaurant would always be fun. So we felt like it was a great way to end the meal, something a little playful, something a little fun. And we keep it pretty straightforward. We do a little chocolate slice down, a few bites of brownies, just like you might make at home late night after, a few drinks out or something. And then load it up.
And this is the...
It's organic, it's Strauss. So it's just out of Northern California. It's an organic product that's just unbeatable. And then you always got to finish it off with just a little more chocolate.
Okay.
Can't beat it.
Thank you. I'm here with Mika. We're in the Piedmont section of Oakland, and we're at Pomella. Thank you very much for doing this interview.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for coming in and checking us out.
Yeah, so I'm starting off here with your Yemeni spiced coffee, correct?
Yes, Yemeni spiced coffee.
Okay, so I'm going to take a sip. What are those? It's not nutmeg, is it?
No, so this is Hawaiiage. It's a Yemeni spice blend. It has ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, and a tiny little bit of clove. It's kind of like a coffee chai.
Okay, so you've given me a few dishes to sample. This is eggplant tahini?
Yeah, so this eggplant is marinated with pomegranate, and then it is grilled, and then the sauce on top is tahini and yogurt together.
No, I don't see the little tiny pomegranate pieces.
No, it's a marinade, so it's marinated with pomegranate juice.
Oh, with the juice.
Yes,
Okay, perfect. All right. So you've given me a handful of things to try. The other one, this looks like hummus with lamb.
Yes, this is hummus with lamb, yes.
Okay. And then you said these falafels have cheese inside.
Yes, these are cheese falafel, and they come with tahini sauce on the side.
Okay, so I'm gonna try, I've never had a bad eggplant dish in my life, so I'm gonna go with the safe one first.
Let's see what happens.
So you have a pretty large menu here. Any
Yes, we do.
particular reason you chose these?
For you today, some of it is just I wanted to kind of showcase some of our most known dishes, the things that we make here that is special. So the cheese falafel is definitely one of our specialties. We make our own bread. I want you to have our bread. Hummus, we're like known for our hummus that we make here. This is our namesake salad. It's Pomella salad, and it's only in season now. It's actually going to get you some Brussels sprouts, but they never made it here.
Okay, well, you've certainly given me enough to try.
We're working on that. We'll get them for you.
I think I'm your first customer of the day.
Yes.
So
you walked in at 11. So
I walked
yeah,
in at 11,
that,
which is
right.
when you opened. So you
Yes.
said you make your own pita.
We do. We make our own pita. We make a combination of white and wheat and whole wheat, and we use organic flours here. Everything actually on this table is organic. The lamb is grass-fed. We use organic garbanzos for the hummus. We also have our naturally fermented pickles over here that we just ferment with salt and water. Or should I show you guys?
Please.
And this juice from the pickles, you see this pink juice? That makes a hell of a martini.
Okay, so is this crushed red pepper or paprika?
Paprika.
Okay, so it's paprika.
On the as a garnish.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a bite of this, which you said you make it in-house.
Yeah, everything here is in house. And
Okay.
the lamb has a marinade that we also make in house, and the marinade has ras el hanout, which is a spice blend that we also make in house.
Okay, and I'm really interested in your story. You grew up in an Israeli city that I've
Yes.
never visited despite having been to the country twice. Where did you grow up?
So I grew up right outside of Haifa, between Haifa and Acre. There's a bunch of little towns. I'm from one of them, and that's where I'm from originally. Yes, it's a great part of the country. It's like 20 spices.
Wow, you wouldn't think so, but it's I like how it works. Okay, so before we hit record, you said something about the falafel, that these are the cheese falafels.
Yeah, these are the cheese falafel.
So falafel's not just ground chickpea fried up.
Yeah.
Okay, but you just put cheese in the mix, is that how it works?
No, we put it in the middle.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So
Well-
we make falafel here that's very green. We put a lot of herbs in our falafel, as well as chickpeas and fava beans. So
Okay.
our falafel is made of ground up chickpeas and fava beans and herbs and a little bit of peppers. And
Okay,
this
so-
one, when we shape it, we put cheese in the middle.
Okay, and what kind of cheese is that, by
This
the way?
is feta. It's
Feta.
a sheep's milk feta.
Sheep's milk feta. And would you eat this with the pita, or would you just try it by itself the first
I
time?
think you should just try it. Just try it up. You can not put some tahini on it, but I would suggest that you just give it a try.
I'll take the first bite by
Yeah.
itself.
Careful, it
So-
might be super hot.
Okay.
What do you think?
Just right.
Yeah. It's one of the things that we are known for.
It's very crunchy. The feta's not like overwhelming, so I think that
Yeah.
it mixes in very well. So now you want me to try it with the tahini?
Yeah, definitely. And there's a difference of sauces. So this sauce over here is tahini. It's vegan. It's just tahini. And the sauce that you had on the eggplant is tahini and yogurt together.
Tahini and what? Oh, yogurt. Okay, all right.
We use a lot of that sauce here for all of our rice plates.
By the
But
way,
yeah.
since I can also ask you Israeli questions,
Yeah. Oh, well,
where
no,
did I
maybe.
go in Jerusalem that was supposed to be the place tahini was invented?
I don't know about that. I'm not going to claim where things were invented, because when it comes to the Middle East, everybody claims too many things as their own. I can say where our tahini is from.
Okay.
How about that? Let's be political about it. So we use tahini here in Pomella that comes from Israel, from Nazareth, from a factory called Al Ars. It's a wonderful place where it's
Nazareth, Israel, not Pennsylvania.
no.
Okay, all right. I'm from Pennsylvania originally. That's
Yes,
why
I know.
I threw that joke in there. Okay. And Nazareth's next to Bethlehem.
Everything's pretty close. It's a small country, but Nazareth is where Jesus is from. Jesus' family, Jesus of Nazareth. So if anyone is...
But I'm saying in Pennsylvania, Nazareth is next to Bethlehem.
Oh, no. In
Oh.
Israel, it's not exactly next door, but in proximity, everything is so close that you can say that.
Okay, so I have to ask you,
Yeah.
you've been in Oakland more than half your life,
Yes.
and also you have this really cool space here, and every restaurant I've eaten at in Oakland so far has a super high ceiling. Am I just going to places with high ceilings, or
Yes.
is that a normal thing in this area?
It's amazing.
Okay, Silan.
Silan.
That's not related to a date, is it?
Yeah, it's a date molasses.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's like a date sugar, like a date syrup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I originally had planned to fly into Oakland. Thank you, Spirit Airlines, for canceling my flight. I ended up having to rebook United into San Francisco. So, I'm not doing anything in San Francisco on this trip besides driving through there to the airport. And what would you say? You've lived here for a couple decades now. Why should people give Oakland a chance and come to Oakland and explore the food scene here?
Well, you know, the people of Oakland I love the people of Oakland. It's a very diverse population, and
Yes.
that also affects, of course, our food scene, which is very diverse. So it's really fun to come here. All the cultural stuff, all the different ethnicities, all the different neighborhoods have like their own little personalities. All the different foods, all the different ethnic foods. And one of my biggest things about Oakland is the Oakland Hills, where you can, in like 10, 15 minutes, you can be in a park in the Redwoods, enjoying, you know, beautiful nature with beautiful views of the city and the bay.
Speaking of speaking of beautiful views, I'm staying at the Claremont, which pretty much looks down on the bay.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm waking up to great views. I love seeing the city lights at night.
Yeah.
Toda, thank you very much.
Bevakasha. Nice to meet you.
So I've been walking up and down Piedmont Avenue for the past half hour, and I came across Ebiko, which is a sushi bar here along Piedmont Avenue. They do mostly takeout. I'm here with David, and I think we're going to be sampling some of your sushi today. Is that right?
Yep. Awesome.
So what do we have here?
So this is our most popular item. It's the omakase nigiri. It's got a little bit of salmon, bluefin tuna, Hokkaido scallop, ikura, and hamachi.
Okay, so which one should I try first?
My favorite one's the bluefin tuna, but I also like to save that one for last, and so I would say start with the salmon belly first.
Okay, salmon belly on the left.
Yeah.
And I saw, like, since I've been here, you've sold quite a few of these.
Yeah.
So this is it.
Yep, it's just a little bit of rice with salmon on top, and we use like a nice short grain, kind of firm rice on the bottom there.
Short grain, okay. All right, so tell me one more I should try on camera.
Try the ikura. That one's a real popular one as well. So the ikura is the salmon roe.
Okay,
right in the middle
so
over
we're
there.
doing all salmon.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the okura right here.
Yep.
Salmon eggs.
It's got a nice little umami, salty flavor to it. Yeah.
Okay, it's very popular. And this, how do you say it, omakase?
Omakase nigiri.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is huge. Like, I live in New York, and you have all kinds of omakase tasting menus. Like, a lot of the Michelin-starred restaurants have that. So it just means chef selection, is that correct?
Yep, chef selection, and we try to vary some of the pieces every day. But for the most part, we've found a couple of ones that people tend to like the most, and those are the ones that you see there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you also wanted me to try this one, which is...
That is the salmon aburi. So it's a lightly seared salmon with a little bit of aburi sauce, and it's also a nigiri with rice underneath it. So.
And is that just a char mark, or
That
is
is-
that salt, pepper?
That is the char mark. There is a little bit of black pepper in it, which adds a slight hint of it in there.
Okay, so I'm gonna go for this one.
Go for it. What do you think?
Yeah, I love almost like the smoky flavor from you charring the end. Salmon's my favorite fish, by the way. So, how long have you been in this location?
So we've been here for about 4 to 5 months. We opened in September of 2022. Time has flown by, and so not that long, but every day we still have new people coming in, discovering us, and so it's been a good ride so far.
So, David, you make all of this in-house every day?
Yep, it's our grab and go sushi refrigerator, and so we've got nigiri, some basic makis there, and some of the favorites like California roll, of course. And all of it's made fresh every day and throughout the day here.
And yeah, we're in California. Now, is this, are these products here imported from Japan?
They are. And so we've got a nice selection of Japanese snacks here. I try to model it after some of like the Japanese convenience stores, 7-Eleven or Lawson's that you might see over there in Japan. And so a lot of friendly snacks over here, salty, savory, you name it, we have it all.
Well, I could tell you that some of this is in my cabinet at home. In particular, I usually have at least one box of Pocky.
Yep, Pocky is very popular, and Himemaro, these are actually very popular as well. They've got a nice little spice to them.
No, I didn't. Yeah, do you sell seaweed?
We do, a little bit of seaweed right here.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you very much.
All right, awesome.
I've tried a lot of new places on this trip, but as it winds down, I'm ending here at Fentons, which is an ice cream shop that's been here since 1894. You take a look around, you got some really cool vintage photos. I love the diner style seating there. So I'm gonna enjoy some caramel cream almond crunch, and I'm gonna say goodbye. If you like this video, please click subscribe. I got plenty of trips coming up for 2023. Omaha, Nebraska, Columbus, Ohio, Wilmington, Delaware, and I look forward to sharing more video with you in the future. Thank you, everyone.